Alright, cool. Do this here. Oops. Let's see. Voice. Record now. Okay. So now I'm going to start my sport brief. Okay. Hi, this is Otis Burt III. This is my sport brief. I'm 24 years old. I'm from San Francisco, California. I'm a huge Giants fan, San Francisco Giants fan, San Francisco 49ers fan, and a Golden State Warriors fan. And of course, I want to talk about the Bay Area sports landscape right now. Of course, as you can see, I'm here at work right now, but I'm done for the day, so I'm just here chilling right now. I'm going to leave in a few minutes, but I just want to do a quick sport brief right quick. And of course, first things first, going to talk about the Giants. The world champion Giants, yeah. And sadly, they had a tough game against the Mets yesterday. They lost 5-2. They just looked kind of tired yesterday to me, because they were coming off. That was the last game of their road trip. A huge, long 10-game road trip. They looked like they were tired. Um, they were leaking oil. They were ready to come back here, and just, I don't know. They just were tired. Jonathan Sanchez he just wasn't really into the game mentally. I guess he just, I don't know. It was kind of all around bad game yesterday. They probably weren't going to win the game yesterday, but the Giants ended up having a 5-5 road trip, which I guess in the grand scheme of things isn't really bad because they're 500. But at the same time, it's like they could have been better. And it was disappointing because Pablo got hurt during the road trip. They were in, he got hurt in D.C. and that was probably the lowest point of the road trip because they took 2 out of 3 from the Pirates last week. They took 2 out of 3 from the Mets earlier this week, and then they only won 1 game out of the 4-game series in D.C. against the Nationals, and then Pablo got hurt. And that series went to shit. Sorry for my language, but it was bad. But yeah, so the Giants in about guessing a little bit over 45 minutes from now, they'll be actually it's about 50 minutes from now, 51 minutes from now, they'll be going to host the Colorado Rockies tonight at AT&T Park. They're finally back at home, so it'll be nice to see the Giants play at home, under their own conditions, in their own ballpark. So hopefully the Giants can win this game. But the tough thing is going against Ubaldo Jimenez tonight, and he's given the Giants fits over the years. And but we'll see what happens tonight. Matt Cain's going to pitch for the Giants, so it should be a pitching matchup. Even though I think Ubaldo Jimenez has like a 7.20 ERA or something like that. But he always gets the Giants fits. Well, not always, but he's tough on us sometimes though, on the Giants though. So we'll see what happens though. For the Giants to come out with a victory tonight. They'll be wearing their the orange jerseys tonight, so we'll see what happens. So we'll see what happens with the Giants. They're 15-16 right now. Hopefully they'll be around 500 by the time Pablo comes back, which will probably be maybe around July 1st, June 30th. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Pablo, the injury that he had was a hamate bone. I guess he swung. He had a check swing, and he swung probably hard, and he hurt his hand. It's like, damn it, Pablo. Oh, sorry, but it's just like, darn it, dude. Be careful. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with the Giants, though. Excuse me. Now I want to talk about the Oakland A's. The A's are in Kansas City right now. I don't know what the score is, but they're getting ready to start their road trip. They're in Kansas City right now. They just lost 2 out of 3 to the Cleveland Indians, who are playing good. That was just a win. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Indians, who are playing good baseball right now. The Indians are 21-9 so far to start the season. And they've done really well so far. They've got good hitting, good pitching, and they were one of the worst teams in baseball last year. And right now they're having a pretty good start. So we'll see what happens with the Indians. But yeah, I'm also happy for all the Cleveland fans. I'm also happy for this one guy on the Breach Show website, this message board that I go to. His name is his real name is Eric Smith, but he's known as Ohio Niner or Elimpo. I guess Elimpo is his name on Breach Show, but his nickname on on the Niners message board was Ohio Niner. But yeah, I'll always know him as Ohio Niner. But yeah, Eric Smith. I'm happy for him because he's a huge Indians fan, and it's just like, I was happy for Cleveland sports fans, because they've been kicked in the nuts, with the Indians last year. They were one of the worst teams in baseball last year. And then, with the whole thing with the Cavs last year with LeBron, how he left the decision and everything. I was going to say the situation, the decision and everything. And then the Browns weren't that good this past NFL season. So I'm happy for Cleveland for right now. They're with the Indians right now. So we'll see what the Indians will do. Coming up on, I don't know if they'll be keep this up though, because they're not really that strong. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. Maybe they might be like how the Giants were last year. They just came out of nowhere. But I don't know. The Indians are having great start though, which the Giants didn't have last year. But the Giants got hot in the second half of the year, which hopefully they'll do again this year. But we'll see. So I know this is supposed to be about the A's, but yeah, now it's turning into the Indians and the Giants. But yeah, excuse me. But yeah, the Indians. But yeah, the A's are in Kansas City tonight. It's also the return of David DeJesus, former Kansas City Royal. So we'll see. I guess I'll see on the highlights if he got an ovation tonight or not. But yeah, so I guess that kind of includes the A's. I mean, they lost to the Indians yesterday. Brett Anderson, he went 9 innings, but they just didn't get. They just didn't make good. I guess it's they lost the game in extra innings. But yeah, that kind of includes I guess that's it with the A's right now. They're 500. They're 16-16 or something like that. But yeah, and now of course we're gonna talk about the San Jose Sharks. Sharks are in the playoffs right now. I think they're playing the Detroit Red Wings right now. They have a commanding 3-0 lead, and if they can win tonight, they'll win the series. But I don't know, Richard, the Red Wings are going to win the game in Detroit, in their home arena, so in their home ice. So we'll see what happens. Plus the Sharks might want to clinch the whole thing at the HPV in the San Jose, the Shark Tank. So we'll see what happens with that. So the Sharks are playing great hockey right now. Second round of the playoffs, have 3-0 lead on the Detroit Red Wings. So I'm happy for them. I'm happy for Sharks fans, even though I'm not a big, I'm not really a hockey fan at all. I'm not a Sharks fan. But I'm happy for all the Sharks fans and the Sharks too, because they've been in the playoffs for so many years, and it's like they haven't been able to get over that hump. But I'm happy for them though. Hopefully they'll get over the hump this year, get to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we'll see what happens though. But hopefully they'll be able to beat the Red Wings tonight. Excuse me. As far as Niners and Raiders go, of course the NFL draft was last week, and of course as a Niner fan, I thought their draft was okay. I mean, it wasn't really nothing spectacular, but I mean it was good. I was happy with the Colin Kaepernick pick. When they traded up, they traded with the Broncos to trade up with the Broncos because they had the second round, the 45th pick in the second round. They traded up with the Broncos to get the 36th pick, and they drafted Colin Kaepernick. So that was pretty cool. I was happy with that pick. Hopefully he'll be the quarterback of the future for the Niners. Though it sucks that they might bring Alex Smith back. I'm not really happy with that decision, but I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. And also, I'm trying to think what else. First round they drafted Alden Smith. I never heard of the guy. He's a defensive end from Missouri. So what people are saying is he's kind of a project. He's still kind of young, kind of raw. But I don't know. Hopefully he'll be good. Hopefully he'll be good. This upcoming season for the Niners if there's a season. But I know we'll see. I mean, I don't know. I hate that he's kind of a project, but we'll see what happens. Maybe he could be one of those diamond in the rough kind of guys, like his guys who kind of just like you didn't hear much about them in college, but then when they get to the NFL, they'll be pretty decent. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully he'll be that pass rusher the Niners been needing for years now. But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. The Raiders, they I guess they had an okay draft. I didn't really really know much about the guys that they drafted. I guess they drafted more speed guys. They drafted Steven Wisniewski, who's the offensive lineman out of Penn State, who's the nephew of Steven Wisniewski, the former Raider, and he works for the Raiders now. I don't know what he does for the Raiders though, but they drafted his nephew, so we'll eventually see what he does with them. But yeah, the Raiders had an okay draft. But as a Niner fan, I'm hesitant to say this, but I think the Raiders are going to go. They're heading in the right direction. I mean, they won 8 games. They won 8 games, not 80 games. They won 8 games this past season with Tom Cable as head coach. And with Hugh Jackson now, I mean, he could probably continue putting them in the right direction because he was their offensive coordinator last year, and he's probably more on offensive minded that team needs. But I don't know. We'll see what the Raiders do. Well, we'll see what the Niners do. Hopefully the Niners have a great season. I don't know if they'll have as good of a season because they basically, like someone said in the Breach website, they basically brought back the same team as last year, this past season, and it's like they only won 6 games. Of course, a lot of that was bad coaching for Singletary, and also just I don't know. We'll see. To me, their schedule is very tough. Well, not very tough, but they have some tough games the second season if there is a season. They play at Philly, they're at Baltimore on Thanksgiving night, which would be interesting because it's the Harbaugh Bowl. But it's too bad it's it's such a tough game, for prime time, especially on Thanksgiving night. But yeah, and also they host the New York Football Giants. They host the Steelers. They go to Detroit, which might not be an easy game, even though the Lions aren't great, but they're an improving team. They have a lot of tough games on the schedule. They go to D.C. to play the Redskins. The Redskins aren't that good, but still, the East Coast game. I don't know. So we'll see. Hopefully the Niners can. If they get 8 wins, actually, it'll be okay with that. But I don't know. We'll see. With Alex Smith at quarterback, I don't know. He might fall on his face again. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Harbaugh does with him. Hopefully Harbaugh will change his team around because other than Nolan and Singletary regimes, they're both defensive guys, and then they're just not. They don't know what to do on offense. And it's just like with Harbaugh now, who's more an offensive mind. He was a quarterback in college. You know, when he played college football. Of course, he was a quarterback in the NFL. He coached college football. He's a great coach, as we saw, when he's at Stanford. But so we'll see what he does with the Niners. Hopefully he'll have a chance to coach the Niners that coming season. Hopefully there will be a season that coming season, but we'll see what happens. The Raiders also have a tough schedule. I think they might regress a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe they might win 8 games again this coming season. I don't know. But both teams are kind of like middle of the pack, really, the Niners and the Raiders. But we'll see what happens with both teams. Now as far as the Warriors go, sadly the Warriors they let go of Keith Smart last week. I still don't agree with that move. I'm still kind of pissed off about that move, really, because it was just because he took that team further than any other coach probably would have gotten them. They were a 36-win team. A lot of us had them at around 35 wins, but as Brian Murphy said in the KNBR rewind thing that I saw a little bit earlier. But yeah, a lot of us had them at around 35 wins. They won 36 games, and it was good. But but imagine if the Warriors would have had a better bench, and if they would have gotten more production out of the Beaters, they could have gotten to the playoffs this year. But I don't know. It's really kind of too bad. All the Warrior players like Keith Smart, and it just seemed like it was a good match. But I don't know. But the Warriors front office, they better bring in a better coach, because it's just Keith Smart was really good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he wasn't great, but I mean, he was good for right now. But I don't know. We'll see what they do. Of course, the Warriors, as a lot of people said, the Warriors got to bring in size. They need a good backup center. Hopefully, a starting center. But hopefully they get rid of Beatrice, but I don't know. We'll see what they do with Beatrice. Of course, they need a bench. It sucks that they got rid of Watson tomorrow for nothing. And they were key guys off our bench last season. But we'll see what happens, though, with the Warriors. So I guess this kind of concludes my sport brief right now. I re-enrolled in the City College of San Francisco today. I needed to do that, in order to basically keep my job here at the state. But my student assistant job here at the state for right now. And if I kind of working back to City College, it was like, wow, I'm in here. Like, actually, I haven't really hung out at this campus for an extended period of time, probably since 2007. I mean, I went there with Ray, I think, a year or two ago. But it's because he had to do some stuff there. But I haven't really hung out at City College, in a long time. It was nice, but it feels kind of weird though. It was like, oh man, but like Dad said in the email that it was, it's because I'm a college graduate now, and it's like, I'm he didn't say I'm past that point, but I'm past that point though. It's like I'm not a college student anymore. I'm a college graduate. But yeah, but we'll see how the class goes that I plan on taking, or that I might take. That me and Dad were talking about last night, but we'll see how earlier this morning. But we'll see how things go at City College. But yeah. So yeah, this is Otis for the third. This is my sport brief right here. I'm from San Francisco, California. I'm 24. I'm single and ready to mingle. Yeah. And I'll talk to everyone later. Bye. Peace. And God bless. I'll see you guys later. Bye. And happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I'll see you guys later. Bye.